collectible spot. We are having a look at the Hot Toys Avengers Age of Ultron, the Scarlet Witch, Sideshow exclusive. Just before we have a look at the figure itself, let's have a look at the box art. The box art features some really nice profile imaging there of the Scarlet Witch. And then you've got the Scarlet Witch at the top there. And I like how her magic is basically making the design lines of her hair. A really nice touch. I like that a lot. And then, of course, she's standing on top of the Avengers logo. The box is primarily a pinkish red with the silhouette more in black. As for the back of the box, you've got the Scarlet Witch. It says New Avengers Version. This is MMS 357, the 1/6 scale collectible figure. Lastly, the box has a slip box lid, so what you can do is just pull it off like so to feature Scarlet Witch inside. Now this is the Sideshow exclusive version of Scarlet Witch, so basically what it is it's Scarlet Witch near the end of Avengers Age of Ultron where she gets that new outfit. It's not quite the outfit that she's going to be wearing in Civil War, but it's a medium outfit between what she wears in the Age of Ultron movie and then just obviously just before Civil War. So it's kind of an interesting design to have her released in this form. Can't wait to get the figure out of box. That being said, Spot's going to take himself a break. I'm going to get this out of box, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Hot Toys Age of Ultron New Avengers Scarlet Witch. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Just before we have a look at the Scarlet Witch, let's have a look at the display stand that comes with the figure. This display stand is a carryover from other Age of Ultron figures that seem to share all the same stands. On the front there, you've got Avengers Age of Ultron Scarlet Witch on the front placard. As you would expect, the neck is adjustable. You can get that adjusted depending on where you want to have it placed, and it can fit around the Scarlet Witch's waist. If the appearance of Scarlet Witch looks a little off, it's because this is the New Avengers Scarlet Witch. She basically appears only in about a second or so at the end of the movie when the new Avengers are being formed together, consisting of Falcon, War Machine, Vision, and of course you've got Scarlet Witch here, and then Black Widow and Captain America are looking down on the new formed team. So she's really only in the movie, at least looking like this, for only a few seconds. It's neat though that Sideshow or Hot Toys would have done a Sideshow exclusive release of Scarlet Witch for that very short appearance that she's in. If you compare her to the regular release of Scarlet Witch, if you remember, she basically is just wearing like a skirt, a black shirt, a black skirt, and a red leather jacket. This one gets a little closer to her comic ties, and of course she gets a lot more distinct as well in the Civil War, where she gets a much longer coat, jacket, and more predominantly red in design. Let's have a look at her face. Her face is quite good. I think the likeness to Elizabeth Olsen is there. I feel like this is the same face. I don't feel like they would have retooled the face for the Sideshow exclusive release of Scarlet Witch. So it does have the same, from what I can tell, the same face as the original Age of Ultron Scarlet Witch. Where the differences vary, though, is when you start looking at her hair. Her hair is a much lighter color, as it was more in the end of the movie as well, where in the most of the movie, the predominant scenes that she's in the movie, she seems to come across with a darker hair coloring. This hair coloring is almost more closer to like a strawberry blonde in color, and the ringlets are much bigger. Just by doing comparisons between her, and I looked at some shots of her online as well, the original Age of Ultron figure. The Age of Ultron definitely did look like she had much darker ringlets, maybe not as predominant, whereas this one has a much lighter hairstyle. The hair itself also is a dull hair, in similar vein to some of the other Age of Ultron figures, such as, of course, the original Scarlet Witch and Black Widow. The hair works well on this figure. It didn't work as well for me when it came to Black Widow, but I find the hair works pretty good here on Scarlet Witch. It looks natural enough. I probably wouldn't gamble at trying to, style it too much. From the back, it doesn't look too bad. Just kind of cleaning up the top area here of her hair. Just kind of course, she's got package head, so she's been squished against the back or the clamshell insert. But the hair looks good. I don't have any issues necessarily with the hair. It's this type of hairstyle, because it is so curly, that, you know, you wouldn't want to fuss and muss with it too much. But the face, I would say, face-wise, it looks really good. Now, touching base on the outfit once again. The outfit is kind of more closer to a comic look of her, wearing a series of different reds in her jacket, some looking more closer to a leather, some looking more closer to a fabric. She has different colored swatches making up the majority of her jacket. There's a little bit of mesh work there on the inside interior, which also is a little bit on the sleeve also. A notable thing to mention about the new Avengers Scarlet Witch, though again so short she is in the movie, is the inclusion of the type of tail that she has on her jacket. The jacket also is a lot shorter than how it appears in Civil War. It's a good in-between if you already have the Age of Ultron Scarlet Witch, and then of course the upcoming release of the Civil War Scarlet Witch. She's a nice in-between. She's got a zipper and a very broad collared jacket. I wouldn't advise trying to remove it. Again, this is all appearing to be one sculpted piece. It looks like it's also attached to the inner shirt as just basically one solid piece. So again, I wouldn't gamble. I wouldn't take that gamble of trying to take the jacket off. I like, though, the combination of fabrics, though. That kind of raspberry color, but then you've got that very vibrant red appearing more like a leather material. The stitch work also is quite nice on it too. There's the interior there. Again, there's a big long zipper on the back. I wouldn't advise trying to take that, trying to remove that in any way whatsoever. As for her hands, she's got more of the gauntlets here. Now this is obviously a more uniformed looking Scarlet Witch, where in Age of Ultron, she's basically just got like a thrown together outfit. She's got like military style boots or like Doc Martin style boots. And then she's just got the dress, like the skirt, the black top, and then the nod to Scarlet Witch being, you know, somebody that wears red. She, of course, was wearing the red jacket as well. She's got multiple little rings on her fingers there. Nail polish in a cranberry or dark red. Then she's got the black leggings and a very similar style of boots to what the Black Widow outfit was in Age of Ultron 2. Very, very similar. Especially even when I took her out of the packaging, I noticed like even the front crests kind of have a very similar look to design to Black Widow's. So really interesting outfit. Again, she's not in the movie very long wearing this outfit, but I really like that Hot Toys would have given us an exclusive that warrants, I would say, picking it up. Not just simply a case where the exclusive had an extra component or an extra part to it that the other standard release didn't have. This one with such a distinct costume all in her own, it definitely warrants, I would say, picking her up. Scarlet Witch will have the following accessories included. She has several different interchangeable hands, and what's nice about the hands themselves is that they all have a translucency to them. They are like a frosted flesh color, but as you can see, they carry down or extend out to a translucent, very light red fingertip, conveying again that idea of casting magic. Now she has a couple different variations to those hands, more flat hands, so to speak, and then she's got a couple of more spell casting hands. One's more posed as if she's conjuring up something. I really like these though, even if I don't necessarily display her with the constructs, the little energy magic that she comes with as well. Maybe I would just likely display her with these instead. Yes, when it comes to magic, folks over at Hot Toys give you 2 extra, well, kind of spell casting constructs. They're a translucent pinkish color, actually the same sort of color that's on her fingertips, and you get 2 of them. They are specific to hands, but I guess you could really manipulate them either way, depending on, you can manipulate them really any which way to get them to properly fit on the hands, but there is specifically a left and a right configuration. Getting them into her hand, I usually have an easier time of getting this one into her hand rather than this one here. As an indicator, it gives you like a little curved section that is really the area that wraps around the wrists of Scarlet Witch. And yes, while I can't get both of them in her hand, this one never seems to sit as securely as this one right here. They look great. I wish they were a little bit easier to peg into her hand, to be honest. But the spells, the casts as it were, look fantastic displaying with the figure. When it comes to the Scarlet Witch's articulation, her head is on a ball joint. The figure itself also has the same rubbery torso I noticed also with Black Widow. This whole neck area, as well as the torso section, feels like a rubbery applied torso rather than just the plastic torso. Shoulders and arms move very freely, although when you start moving the arms too forward and too far back, the stitching around the jacket area will start to bunch a little bit, causing a little bit of restrictions, so to speak. But the arms do move out quite easily. She has a bend in the elbow, rotation in the bicep area, double hinged elbow, rotation and hinge via ball joint in her wrists. As for her waist, well, her waist and her torso, being that the jacket is so tight on her, tight in the fact very conformed and fitted to her, does limit a little bit of posability when it comes to the crunching of the torso or any rotation in the waist section here. When it comes to her legs, got a full range of motion in her legs. This kind of faux leather, looks like it's a faux leather or faux, I guess it would be a faux leather material. Does have a lot of extra give to it versus the jacket. So while the jacket's a little bit more limited, she does have a lot more freedom when it comes to the leg area. It does have a double hinge knee. Feet are probably the only restrictions also because the whole boot area is just plastic, or it's a very, very solid rubber. So you can rotate the boot. You can feel like the joint is in there, but you can't really do too much to move it other than just rotating where the top of the boot is attached. Spot really liked Elizabeth Olsen's portrayal of Scarlet Witch in the Age of Ultron and, of course, in Civil War. Her appearances have, much like the other heroes, changed over the course of the movies, that every movie, basically, they get a new appearance or a new costume. This particular costume I quite like because it's a transitioning costume of her developing herself as a member of the Avengers. In the beginning of Age of Ultron and throughout the course of the movie, she wore not really something you would consider a Scarlet Witch attire. Of course, though, at the end of the movie, for that split second, we get this Scarlet Witch. And this being the precursor to what we eventually get in Civil War. It's really cool, though, that Hot Toys would have given us this transitioned Scarlet Witch. Only a few seconds in the movie, but a really nice appearance of what she will look like, or what she did look like in that movie, but what she will look like in Civil War. It's kind of like that middle-of-the-mark design of her, and I really like this figure. I think she turned out quite well. You guys are interested in picking up the Scarlet Witch, New Avengers Scarlet Witch, so I'll put the link down below to Sideshow Collectibles. You can pick this girl up for yourself. You can also pay in installment plans too, so if you can't afford just the full lump sum, that's okay. You can do what I do. Spot pays a little installments, and then when the figure is fully paid off, Scarlet Witch will come right to your door. Not literally, although that would be kind of cool if she did come right to your door as well. Today's collectible spot, we were having a look at the Hot Toys Sideshow exclusive. This was the Avengers Age of Ultron New Avengers Scarlet Witch. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching, as you always do. See you next time.